What's up? Okay, yeah, sure. All right, yep, that's it. I'm done streaming. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore, guys. Oh my god, what? 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 Okay. Sure. Let's just keep it like this. Let's just keep it like this, I guess. What is this? What am I looking at? Hello? What is this? I'm gonna. Oh, there we go. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jace. Stop Police the First. What's up, Steelmaster89? And that's split into three. What the hell was that? What in the name of God? Hello, son. Hi. For people that were not present last night. Wait, oh, did the camera freeze? Let me try plugging it in and out or something. 1 second. You're broken. Oh. I think the wire for the camera is scuffed. Either the wire scuffed or the port is scuffed. Because sometimes it does the... I hear like a USB disconnect sound over and over again. And if I pull the wire out from the camera, it fixes itself, but... Is it in auto mode right now? Has to be, right? Does it just look really nice on auto mode? I don't know. I'm not gonna change anything. Alright, for people that were not present last time, we have, after playing the game for 50 hours, we have successfully gotten out of the tutorial. We are, we're in camp. I guess we'll run around and speak to everyone. Lotier Hawkblade, Commander, a tall man with piercing yellow-green eyes. What is this, Mass Effect? Gives you, Eyes gives you a brief nod. Let me personally congratulate you on your new title and thank you for your time in advance. I'm Lotier Hawkblade, an Inquisitor of the Church of Iomine and Bringer of Light. I require your assistance in a certain delicate matter. Give one of your companions, young Count Darren Arende. World check pass. Are you one of Prelate Tolerance followers? Lutter's face freezes for a moment, but he nods. Yes, of course. What is your opinion on his atrocities? Loiter is silent for a while. Usually people reveal such things about themselves only to their confessors, not to some curious stranger. Still, I did ask for your help, and that imposes certain obligations upon me. Let me put it like this. I spent enough years by Prelate Tolerant's side to learn how to keep him from going over the line. The Prelate is an extraordinary man, but he has fallen prey to his own paranoia and monumental sense of responsibility. Yeah. Which has gradually eroded his razor-sharp mind. He has witnessed so much hideous darkness that he now sees it in every shadow. Yet his strength was and still is a shield for all the people of Mendeb. That is my opinion. His comrades and advices are necessary to prevent him from making unforgivable mistakes. Where were you during the attack of Canabris? I was on the hunt. A very successful one, but as often happens in life, this minor success was a mere harbinger of a larger failure. If I hadn't been so far away from Canabris on the day of the attack,
there, mister.
I might have been able to help my comrades and prevent a number of deaths. Thank you for your answer. Yo, what's up, Philsbag, man? It's not an easy topic for me. I'd prefer not to discuss this again. What brings you here? I ask you to assist the Church of Iomine in an investigation of the utmost importance. I understand that the leader of the crusade has plenty of other matters to attend to, but please allow me to tell you that the details. Perhaps it will explain why I'm calling upon you. Inquisitor's open face instantly reveals his feelings. He frowns and looks through you, lost in his thoughts for a moment. I suppose that you have already heard about Count Arende's story. I refer to the tragedy at the Heaven's Edge estate. Tell me what happened at Heaven's Edge. About 10 years ago, several powerful demons managed to penetrate the Wardstone barrier and commit mass murder of all the guests who attended the feast in celebration of young Darren's birthday. The unknown magical disease that they brought wiped out the whole estate in less than a day. That was not a unique case in itself. The demons had attempted such raids on Mandavian lands before, but they had never dared target such a well-protected place. The Arne family was exceptionally rich. The estate was protected by elite bodyguards. There were several strong and righteous paladins among the guests. Moreover, they revered Lestrin, Darren's tutor. I gotta blow my nose. Sorry about this. 1 second. Come on. Excusez-moi. Was one of the most powerful priests of Iomine in the vicinity. All of them died, nonetheless, except for the young Count, who had suddenly manifested his outstanding sacred healing powers. Was that a divine miracle or a curse? That remains to be seen. You're going to investigate this old case again, aren't you? Yes, I am. I have had several reasons to doubt the widely shared account of what exactly happened at the estate, and how it happened. You see, Commander, I was among those sent to examine the estate after the incident. I saw everything with my own eyes, and still remember it clearly, even though it feels like it happened a lifetime ago. Heaven's Edge was a unique place that still carried the spirit of old Mendev. Mendev before the World Wound, and yet, on that day it turned into a labyrinth house of horrors, like something only seen in our nightmares. Apologies for the digression, but I want to tell you about my suspicion. Everything about the incident seemed odd. Why was the only person left alive a young boy with newfound talents for divine magic? Why did nobody send to Canabras for help, even though the agonies spanned many hours? We found the demons dead, with their heads cut off when we got to the estate. How were they defeated? How did the disease kill even the paladins present at the estate, who are said to be immune to any disease? If the demons had found a way to penetrate the Holy Warrior's defenses, why has this never been repeated since the tragedy at Heaven Edge? You're the only person who can help me here, Commander, because the only living witness of the events is currently serving in your army. Your army's route will take you near the very site of the tragedy. Heaven's Edge has been abandoned and sealed with potent magic throughout all these years, and only the Count has the power to break that seal. He's unlikely to invite an Inquisitor inside, and in any case he won't like me sniffing around his family estate. But if you, as his commander, express your wish to visit the estate, he will be obliged to fulfill it. And I will simply follow you as one of the many attendants. There are hundreds of ways, 1,000 paths, and myriad loopholes in the human lives that the forces of evil can use to their advantage. I'm not sure which one of those led to the demons to the gates of Heaven's Edge, but I do know it wasn't a simple raid. The kind Crusade face every day. That incident involved a significantly more powerful entity. That is why I'm asking for your help. We cannot be sure that such a tragedy will not happen again until we uncover the truth. You've already been to the state several times. What do you expect to find now? I was a young and inexperienced Inquisitor when I first visited Heaven's Edge 10 years ago. My skills have improved significantly since then, and I paid dearly for that. Lurter makes a vague gesture, pointing at his scars. My arsenal includes many spells and techniques dedicated to gathering information about people and events. Almost all of them require me to be physically present in the place where the events in question happen. That is why I must return to Heaven's Edge. Why can't you just search the estate yourself without involving me? The estate is abandoned and sealed with powerful containment enchantment that only the Count himself can lift. This is not the main reason, however. The main reason is that Count Arenday is not officially under investigation by the Inquisition. I could just break into his house even if I found a way to bypass the spell. This is a serious matter, Loiter frowns. A matter that threatens the reputation of the entire Church of Iomade and my own organization in particular. We made more than enough unforgivable mistakes during the Third Crusade, and are still dealing with the consequences. Your presence will give my investigation the necessary legitimacy, Commander, but there is more. In addition to getting official permission, I'd also like to bring an independent third-party investigator to this case. Someone independent, but well-respected, and you fit this role perfectly. Did you question Darren himself? I did, but the Count insisted he couldn't remember anything about the incident due to severe shock. He saw the demon at the very beginning when they appeared at a celebration to announce the onset of the plague and mock their victims. He also witnessed the death of his mother, Countess Silaena. That was all that he would tell me, Loiter pulses. We found the young Count sleeping like a log on the floor in one of the rear chambers, having drunk about half the family wine cellar all by himself. There's no reason to disbelieve him, for that matter. They suspect Darren is hiding something, that he is to blame for the tragedy. I deliberately refuse to entertain any theories or suspicions so that it doesn't affect the investigation. There's a saying among my colleagues that suspicion is the mother of prejudice, and prejudice is married to failure. I can only tell you that Count Arenday was suffering from demonic possession, the most common malaise in our country at the time. Phelan Horan himself examined the boy right after the tragedy, and he didn't sense anything awry with him. Fine. I will help you. What do you want me to do? Loiter bows his head to you with exceptional reverence. Thank you, Commander. Now I ask you to speak to the Count and tell him that you wish to see Heaven's Edge. Please do not inform him of my presence right away. I will join your escort when it is time to travel to the estate. When we get there, I will also require your help during the investigation. You'll have to follow me, observing my actions as an independent witness. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I will remain here for a while. Tell me about yourself, Inquisitor. I want to know who I'm dealing with. I'm Ulfin by birth, but I have lived in Mendev for most of my life, dedicating myself to the service of the Inheritor. My warrior brethren mostly worship Gorum, but I've never been eager to fight for the sake of battle alone. Dead boy, dead boy. I was a good fighter in my early youth, and I could easily best most of my peers, but I didn't enjoy showing off my skills. Victory is bland on its own. Purpose adds flavor to war. I can't say that I have always been a faithful sword of Iomade. Back in my mercenary days, fate brought me to the borders of Mendev, where I spent quite a long time among the Crusaders, fighting shoulder to shoulder with my righteous comrades in arms and watching demons commit their atrocities eventually led me to something I had been seeking my whole life: purpose and faith. That is how I found my calling. Even though it may be hard at times, I've never regretted my decision. I wish I could zoom in on this map. Yeah, there's new stuff in there. Well,
we do it my way.
New stuff to is pillage. Yoinky yoinky. Ooh, glowing croissant. Why is this? Why does this one light up in particular? Zoziel?
Hello again. I'm very pleased to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Yo, voiced? Companion?
It's a pity I wasn't there at the Grey Garrison to witness your feats of strength with my own eyes. The flash, however, could be seen miles and miles away. Some people were frightened of it, thinking that the demons had blown up the remains of the keep. I, for one, knew immediately that it was a good sign. The light above the city showed us that there was still hope.
Who are you and how could you possibly be use of my army?
My name is Sozio Vanek. I am a cleric of Shaylin, the Eternal Rose and the Goddess of Beauty. Yes, I know that many people would consider me useless in a war. This is not a usual war, though. Just consider our enemy. The Abyss and his demons are the very embodiment of everything evil and ugly in the world. Perhaps a disciple of kindness and beauty might come in handy. I have no doubt that we will win this war, Commander. We just have to. It is our destiny. My role is to help you, and all those standing by your side in this struggle, to survive and flourish. Everyone deserves the chance to find peace and happiness in the world that they are defending so selflessly.
What are you painting? The cleric's eyes linger more fully on the canvas. The unfinished painting depicts a temple crowned with a rainbow-tailed bird. Rainbow? The hell? Don't put that in my games. The symbol of Shaolin. 5 people dressed in robes stand before the temple, men and women, young and old. They all gaze back at you with radiant happiness and joy in their serene eyes. Back in pronouns.
My brothers and sisters in faith. They sent me for help and then they saved my life, Commander. If the Prioress hadn't ordered me to escape the city and seek help, I would have died right along with them. Instead, I met Queen Galfrey on my way to Nerosian, and hurriedly returned to Canabris, only to find my friends dead on the steps of our desecrated temple. I want to draw them the way they live on in my memory. Wise, beautiful, and loyal to their goddess and their city to the very end.
This is why you have to treasure every moment you spend with the ones you love. Today you're together, but who knows what tomorrow may bring.
You're right. I took their company for granted and never even imagined that they might just disappear in the blink of an eye. So many words left unspoken. Now it's my duty to make sure my friends and tutors did not die in vain. I will honor their sacrifice by making this world a bit more beautiful and kind.
What made an artist enlist in the army?
Perhaps I am a true artist, or simply an amateur who defaces canvases in my spare time. My goddess is a patron of art, so painting is part of my prayer, and I put all my heart into my pieces. But I am a cleric above all else, so I must also tend to others. I went to war because here's where I'm most needed. Sure, I could be painting idyllic landscapes and offering empty prayers to my goddess, but that won't stop people from dying. My goddess has no tolerance for false piety.
You wanted to discuss something with me, right?
Yes, I have a personal request. Before we undertake our journey and leave Canabris behind, I would like to visit Martyr Zacharias' cemetery for a funeral. It's not far from here, and it's important. I would like to pay my respects to my friends from the Temple of Shaylin who died defending the city. Also, if it's not too much trouble, I would like you to come with me to honor their memory. Their friends and family will be at the funeral, and perhaps the commander's personal presence will bring them comfort.
I'd probably find the wand first before I go there.
I know that you are burdened by many cares right now, so I understand if you can't find the time. But if you could, I would be sincerely grateful.
So is this guy not a companion? It was nice meeting you. Now I have to go.
You must be rather busy indeed. Leading a crusade all by yourself is no joke. I still believe that you are up to the task. This war has been raging for 100 years, but you've given us a chance at victory.
Victory! There you are. I'd like to visit Heaven's Edge and see the R&A estate someday. Oh, I was just about to mention it myself. I've been thinking, now that I am in the middle of this whole crusade nonsense, I simply must devise new ways to have fun. With all the recent commotion, my birthday completely slipped my mind. What if we were to celebrate it at Heaven's Edge? It's not far from here. And we'll get to enjoy the banquet in a bona fide haunted house. Darren seems to have trouble getting the words out, which clearly indicates how rarely he has to ask for anything. Since you're my superior and I'm your advisor, I'm obliged to ask your permission to leave for the festivities, and I want to invite you too. I'm sure the commander can free up an afternoon while the other soldiers are on leave. Are you really going to throw a banquet at the place where your whole family died? Darren pursed his lip for a moment before replying in a bored drawl. Yes, what of it? Am I supposed to weep and quake with fear for the rest of my life? I've stayed away from the damned place for 10 years, and now I'm going to return there to drink, dance, and be merry without a care in the world. You can keep your squeamish disapproval to yourself. It's pretty much closest location to the campus. Well, you should probably want him in the group for that. Okay. Alright, deal. Perfect, you'll have a ball, I'll make sure of it. How do you like your new role, advisor? You also enjoy poking me with that stick, don't you? Imagine it, me, a crusader. If my dearest cousin hoped to teach me a lesson, he managed it perfectly, an assignment I couldn't avoid without losing face. This idiotic journey leading straight into the demon's maws. I could have been on a pleasure boat right now with the loveliest songstress in Pitex on my arms, and a bottle of the finest Kyoran wine to keep us company. Did you also receive a fraction of that unusual power? Looks like it. Genuinely hope that getting away from you would be the end of it. If your gift truly did come from Iomide, then giving me a smidgen of that power was a very subtle joke on her part. I had no idea that our divine lightbringer of Mendem even had a sense of humor. Don't get me started on my many acts of sacrilege against her. That obscene engraving, the truth about this test of the Starstone, is the tamest one by far. The truth, huh?
Follow if you dare.
Hello. So,
Voice.
What do you reckon about everything that's come crashing down on us? All the responsibility, command, this new power?
I haven't figured it out yet. We'll see what happens next.
Watching and waiting is a good strategy. Probably. I'm still frightened by what happened in the Grey Garrison. Were we really chosen? By Iomide herself? You know, back when I was a snot-nosed kid who just started down the path to becoming a paladin, I imagined once or twice that I was going to do something heroic. The lights would shine down on me, the trumpets would sing, I'd hear the voice of the goddess, or at least her herald, you know? I'd be informed that I had been chosen for a great cause. But that's the point where my imagination always failed me. Somehow, it really happened. Without all the trumpets or the herald or even anyone explaining what I had to do. Though it's clear as day, my place is here, in this demon-ridden wound. Quite a lovely war going on, in fact. Endless, I hear. I'm gonna need some time to wrap my head around this. Spare me an hour and I'll crawl into some dark corner and whine about my hard lot. What can I tell you? I cry easily.
What? I like when they add, like when you've already spoken to the companions a bunch, like when they add just like a little bit of additional dialogue.
I'm off.
What do you think happened in the Grey Garrison? Did you feel that change in yourself? It's hard not to notice when the demons start running away from you like a flock of frightened bats. Powers granted by Iomide to defeat demons. Land raises his hand above his head and pensively scratches behind his single horn. Since I was a kid, I've taken whatever I've been given and used it as best I can. Anything goes when you're trying to survive. It doesn't matter where your blessings come from. You can think about that when we're old, if you live that long. But you know, this time even I'm not so sure. A divine power that just appears out of nowhere? Sooner or later, we'll have to pay for it. I'd like to know what the price will be. Check the tent? Wait, which tent? I don't think... Oh, this one, yeah. Do. A stout old man with fuzzy grey beard greets you with a deep bow. Well met, Commander. You've caused quite a stir. Everyone thought Canabris was done for, but the gods had other plans. That was quite a blaze over the grey garrison. All the vermin running out with their tails between their legs. How are you? Visali Rathimus, former rector of the Canabris Temple of Abadar, and now your humble servant in times like these. One cannot serve the gods of cities while sitting comfortably behind a city wall. You pursue a sacred cause, and I will help you in any way I can. I await your orders, Commander. Lead us onwards to Dresden. Mass Effect! How did you end up on the battlefield? Everyone here has a story like that, but mine is a rather boring one. Believe it or not, it was bureaucracy. When the old rector of the Canabris Temple died, may Abadar rest his soul, the church required a replacement. I volunteered and served for 30 years without incident. I prayed, organized festivals and funerals, bought candles and sanctified water, boring mundane things that make up daily routines of the civilized society. But then civilization society failed, and it was time for me to go to war, praise Abadar, who led me through the ruins to Defender's heart. It was that boy with you. This one, Kiado, the shepherd, my apprentice. He's a smart boy and his faith is strong. He serves Eras still, though, but there's still something he can learn from an old servant of Abadar. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. What kind of help can I expect from you? First, if you need a scroll with divine spell, I have a lot of them. Something for every emergency. Second, while you're at camp, I can read any scroll for you, guaranteed no surprises. Forn. The elf before you catcher rests his bandaged arm on the weapon at his side. He bows his head with dignity. I congratulate you on your rank, Commander. My hunt demands that I travel with your army. Naturally, I wouldn't burden your forces with the need for care for an outsider. I pride myself with justice. Yeah. Isn't this the same vendor from the tavern? Pearl of Power. I already sold most of my garbage, I guess. Okay, slightly above my... Actually, I should note down the... Let's open up my note... My obsidian. This guy's name is... Visali Rathamus. So, I mean, these seem good, I guess. What is the parenthesis price there? What? Why does it say 71,000 here, but when I click it, it becomes 28,000? Is it more? Oh, there's 4. Oh, okay. Jesus. I'll write on Pearl of Power. Another price? Yeah, sure, but I mean, it's interesting. Sure, this ring has the ability to cast spells, but it has against them the ability to cast the following spells: Fireball, Controlled Fireball, Fire Snake, Health, Fire Ray, Firestorm, and Fire Body. To cast a spell, the wearer still needs to have the spell slot. Oh, okay, so this is the ring I want to give Ember, I guess. Red Salamander. I might be able to afford it if I go sell all the magical items I was saving. When the wearer casts this spell, to use a scroll or portion that gives some plus to his cast level. Ooh, that's a good one. For what's her face? Nenio. Why is the Pearl of Power 5th level so cheap compared to the other ones? Well? Oh, because this is 2 spells, gotcha. Right? I mean, not coin of protection. Probably not some. I'll put that as like a C tier. C tier. Oh yeah, I want this Scroll Scribes kit as well, but I probably just want to buy the most expensive one. So Scroll Scribes kit. That was what, 6. Arachnid goggles. This leather band is studded with dozens of facets, crystals, and varying sizes, two of which fit over the eyes. When wearing these goggles, wearer uses all of the crystals, eyes gaining all around vision and cannot be flanked. Swarm attacks. Ring grants his wearer a +5 confidence bonus on all perception and trigger checks. Ooh, Conman's ring. I don't think this is bad. It's just I don't know how often I'm gonna get flanked and how often it will matter. I figured out among the dervish of Sarnray, this skirt of overlapping bright-colored silk is magically reinforced, granting you increased durability and mobility. It grants its wearer a +2 natural armor bonus to AC and a +2 combat bonus. Okay. War kill to Sarnray. Pest control is wasn't good in my experience. Am I really gonna run into that many swarms? That, I mean, that's great for Nenio again, right? I don't think she cares about stuff she loses from this. We already have this Icy Protector from a different source. Or no, I could have I could have bought it and I didn't, I think. And power just adds more dice, right? Just by half, yeah. I mean, it's not the worst, right? Though this is for lower level spells, so probably actually the worst, maybe. Look at resistance. I'll add it anyway. Lesser Empower Meta Magic Rod. Headband of Inspired Wisdom. Headband of Alluring Charisma. I guess. Piercing, does that help with spell penetration? But lesser means it only works with a 3rd level or lower, so I mean maybe not the worst. Maybe useful, I don't know. I'll see I'll see how much I struggle with spell penetration, I guess. What is intensified to do? Now it's by 5 levels. Why not? I'm just making like a big list of like stuff that could be interesting to buy at some point, so. Let's see if there's something worth spending some money on. Plus 2 on some feint checks. Do I even have a single character that can feint yet? I don't think so. In the casters, that also make use of it. So the level 15 caster could cast 15d6 damage fireball. That's pretty good. I should probably buy some potions. But maybe that's not such a big deal now that I'm like out in the open world. I should see if I can buy that ring before I do that. Oh, a wand of enlarged person. 33 charges? Ray of Frost. And I already found the glowing quasar recipe. Are these quest items? Or does no, that's just mysterious for spells, I guess. Talking about it, yeah. Horizon, rock and roll, yeah. Yeah, let's read that already.
I do what I must.
Because I can.
I'm gone.
Taylor notes approving. You've earned the title of commander. Canabra still stands next to you, but you will have to be doubly on your guard. Your eminence placed a target on your back, and there are assassins about. Killing a high-ranking crusader would bring a demon far more prestige than killing a common soldier. Not long ago, I stymied a few of the Spinner of Nightmares attempts on the lives of influential crusaders, so I know what I'm talking about. What influential crusader did you say from Spinner of Nightmares? I'd been hunting the Spinner of Nightmares for a year. My agents, by the time I'd created a proper network, reported to me that she'd been returned to Nerosian. I immediately suspected that she was planning a great atrocity. By the time I'd learned all too well the Spinner was a master of illusions and charms. That's why I never left the house without this. Killer takes a monocle from his pocket and puts it on carefully. This is the Eye of Truth. It allows me to see through illusions. My friend got it from the priest of Nethys. However, neither the monocle nor my network of agents were adequate to prevent the attack, and we were nearly too late. The Spinner of Nightmares decided to strike the Cruciform Cathedral. They had gathered to celebrate the victory of the First Crusade. It was a great holiday, and there were lavish ceremony at the cathedral. And an influential priest, Antolicus, was in charge of the festivities. They were intending to crown him with a tiara, a symbol of his high status. But the sacred tiara had been replaced by the Spinner. The Spinner had obtained an incotilis, a sentient and rather ominous cephalopod from the other end of the world. She'd raised it from an elver and trained it carefully, and she had cast an illusion on it so that everyone would see it as a tiara. The moment its shell was placed on Antolicus' head, the cephalopod would release its tentacles and penetrate his skull. Its poison would seep into his brain and it would seize control of Antolicus' dead body. Fortunately, we were able to stop this madness in time. I spotted the Spinner of Nightmare in the crowd, chased her down, and we ended up crossing swords on the roof of the cathedral. I nearly defeated her, but she fled upon a giant stallion, which was able to run across the air as if it were on the ground. I was so close to catching her, she had suffered a setback, but I let her escape. Killer's bitter and angry smile shows that he hasn't made peace with his failures. Tell me about your confrontation with the Spinner of Nightmares. It's a long story. Telling you everything would take 2 days. Which part do you want to know? It all began with the task of the Pathfinder Society. I arrived in Nerosian with my team to investigate the sudden death of a famous crusader, Baron Falarin. We soon focused in on a small hospital for the wealthy where the Falarin had been treated shortly before his death. It turned out that the gang of Baphomet's cultists calling themselves the Labyrinth of Mind had gotten a foothold at the hospital. They were obsessed with twisting the minds of their victims and target fragile people too weak to resist. The hospital was filled with perfect victims, isolated for weeks from the outside world, completely helpless. And when they returned, they were different, almost normal. At the moment they heard a certain... I think I already read this. I think I already read this. Yeah. Yeah, he did join the party, but he's already max level and he already has a mythic ability. Not max level, but it's already my level. Oh, okay, gotcha. The mythic ability is such a big deal that it feels like you should be picking. So he's just straight up another paladin? What is this soft, kind man doing in a war? It is easy to imagine him harvesting ripe grapes and killing enemies. But he came here and his hands are scarlet, not with berry juice, but with the blood of slain enemies and fallen friends. This servant of the goddess of beauty gives all of himself to his comrades, trying to protect as many lives as he can. Who will protect him? Oh, it's a cleric. Oh, nice. A proper cleric. Oh, that's pretty nice. Oh. Oh, who would I replace though if I want a cleric in the party? He doesn't even have his domain spells. Bit much overrated Darren for my liking. Well, I guess if you, but I guess if you want like good character maybe, right? Because Darren is a little evil boy. Do I love my evil boy? They do very similar things.
We do it my way.
That Commander, how can I help? There's much I can do, just ask. Nura looks at you with eyes filled with enthusiasm. She's holding a notebook and traveler's inkwell. You've probably heard about the wound I have. The one that sometimes opens in... Oh, wait. Well, why did I read it in her voice? You probably heard about the wound I have, the one that sometimes opens in my chest. Can you perhaps tell me if the soul got of demonic curse? Yes, indeed. I've been told of your affliction. Can you will the wound open? No, that's a shame. What can you tell me about this wound? Well, it's difficult to say. I know of blades that leave never-healing cuts, of poisons that stop wounds from healing. I've heard of witches' curses that are rewarded with eternal wounds, but wounds that seem to reopen and heal over and over. As you know, the other cases like this. Let me think. In 4671, a Medieval army corporal had all his bones and cartilage turned to glass. In 4700, a scribe in Canabres had all her skin simply come away like she'd been boiled. And in 4638, ooh, you don't happen to have insects crawling over you? Locusts? No? Rats, perhaps? Too bad. Nor looks at you with genuine regret. You think it's dangerous? It's most likely dangerous, but you are under the protection of Ayamide, Commander. He grants you mythic powers, as they say. Surely the Inheritor would not leave you to face this alone. You have perhaps noticed that the wound opens at moments when you waver in your faith. Perhaps it's triggered by doubt. Thank you for answers. How about yourself? Oh my, I could tell you so many things, and you choose the most boring of them all, but right, about myself then. Where are you from? Isker, a small piece of land that proudly calls itself a country, though it hasn't been independent for a single day in all centuries it's existed. They have a lot of national pride, but all of it is borrowed, always looking to the great day when they can at last be free from the rule of Sheliax. The Iskeri love talking politics. If two of them start bargaining over beats at the market, you can be sure that they'll end up arguing about whether an independent Isker will be a monarchy or a republic. I've always found it funny to listen to, and a little disgusting. You see, there are a lot of us halflings in the country, but very few are citizens. Most are slaves. Not anymore, they aren't. I was lucky. I've always been clever, ever since I was little, so they sent me to school instead of making me do the grunt work. They taught me to count and write. I was sold as a secretary to Lord Axil Dresspot. He's the one I left Isker with, never to return, I hope. How did you come to serve Queen Galfrey? I was a slave of Lord Ixar Dresspot in Isker, my homeland. Oh, what a man he was. He towered over his fellows like a rock over a garbage heap. A true hero. He bought me as a simple secretary, but he made me learn the history of the world wound. All of it. One volume after another. He hired tutors for me. Even sent me to meet prominent historians. He didn't want a simple slave, but a slave with an impeccable education. Lord Trespot was going on a crusade. He firmly believed that the servants of the good god were weak, and that the only followers of Asmodeus could stand against the demon invasion. He took me along as a secretary, a historian, and most importantly, entrusted me with recording his glorious story for future generations. In this crusade, Lord Trespot performed many brave feats, but even he could not stand against the world wound alone. In his final battle with the demons, when my lord realized he was doomed, his final act was to cover my retreat so that I could tell the world of his great deeds. Some people have said what he did was not heroic, just an arrogant moron puffing himself up one last time, but I say curse their tongues. My difficult journey ended in Mendev, where I found my freedom. There I published Lord Trespot's biography, and I don't want to boast, but who am I kidding? Of course I do. The book sold in great numbers and made me rather famous for a time. That's what brought me to the Queen's attention. She invited me to her court. After all, she was curious about my deceased lord, and she was in great need of an expert on the history of the world wound. Hope you'll find me useful as well. You read that book, I think. It's the guy who steps on the corpses and stuff, right? And he's like, what? These guys are cowards. I want to have a trickery person in the party, and right now Wolfshift and Camilla are very different at trickery. Yeah, sure. You're not a historian, but a writer too. Will you write a book about my crusade? Why not? As soon as I finish off the demons, I'll get right to it. Just take that you don't end up like Lord Trespot. Do you have any worship in a deity? She makes a right face. When I was a slave in Isker, they would beat me with a stick to force me into believing in Asmodeus. They hate me and said I was for my own good. Ever since then, I don't like temples. I realized that there are different gods like Desnaur's Caden who teach goodness and freedom, but it's just... As soon as I smell frankincense, I see the slaves drive a stick. Maybe one day I'll be able to turn to a deity without cringing from a blow for not being reverent enough, but for now I let my others pray for me. But you feel like she's holding something back. Okay. Tell me what the history of the world wound. Oh god. Talk about that for hours. What exactly do you want to know? And what was Sarkoris? It was an unforgiving country inhabited by numerous tribes of Kelid barbarians. Imagine Numeria, but without the metal mountains. Or the realm of the Mammoth Lord, but with milder climate. That's Sarkoris. The country was ruled by priests of forgotten deities and shamans. It is said, even back then, before the world wound, the boundary between worlds was especially thin in this region. Since ancient times, Descari has had his claws sunk deep into the minds of the locals. His cults thrived here for many centuries. Arden tried to stamp them out, but in the end, of course, he passed away. How did the world wound come to be? It happened the year Arden died, 4606, a little over a century ago. No one knows if the timing was coincidental or if there was something in connection with Arden's death, but I'll tell you what we know. The priests and shamans who ruled Sarkoris hated arcane magic and all who practiced it. Witches and sorcerers were driven from the land, or worse. One of their prisoners held a witch named Arelu Warlish. We know nothing about her besides her name, and of course the atrocity she committed. By some unknown method, she managed to harness the tribe's power of the demon lord Descari. Together they tore open the barrier between worlds, opening a rift to the abyss in the very middle of Sarkoris. The world wound slowly but mercilessly expanded, devouring more and more land in a matter of years. Sarkoris was a memory. After a moment of silence, Nero adds softly, "Sometimes I think what they did to Arello in that prison. Just imagine she was ready to give herself to the abyss. If only the demon might devour her tortures along with her. To imagine such hatred, it terrifies me." Tell me about the First Crusade. It began in 4622. Yes, it took the church and the secular authorities nearly 2 decades and hundreds of thousands of lives before they decided to take action. In the meantime, Sarkoris was only supported by a handful of volunteers. By the time the crusade began, the demons had already invaded Mendev. The crusaders pushed them back in what must have been seemed a total triumph at the time. The forces of good easily crushed the demons on all fronts. They erected Dresden on the land they conquered, an indestructible fortress, and the capital of the crusaders' movement. In 4630, 8 years after it began, the crusade was declared victorious. It was the first triumph of the crusade, and unfortunately the last. Then about the Second Crusade. In 4638, the world suddenly started expanding, and a new wave of demons appeared. The Crusaders were all but delighted. Last time they routed the force of the Abyss, and they welcomed another chance to prove themselves. But this time, everything was different. Instead of scattered gangs, they faced a large organized army. Dresden was besieged, and the Crusaders lost all the land they'd won back before. They had to retreat, and all that remained of Sarkoris was left to the demons. But while the monsters were devouring the unprotected lands, the Crusaders erected a chain of war stones along the border with the Whirlwind. They have Yomade and Herald to thank for their help. It was the Second Crusade's only victory, but it halted the wound's growth. The catastrophe had become a stalemate, the cost of tremendous sacrifice. It was the Third Crusade. About 50 years after the opening of the Whirlwind, the Skadi found an ally, Baphomet, entered the war, a cunning, insidious demon lord who prefers deception to open conquest. He set his enemies against each other and lured the virtuous onto the path of wickedness. Traitors appeared among the Crusaders, secret agents of his cult. For a time, no one suspected a thing, even as they watched helplessly as the Crusaders' movement fell to ruin. Where once valor proudly stood, now greed and dumb cruelty reigned, and outrage was drowned in apathy. In 4665, the church announced a new crusade, hoping to boost morale. They didn't succeed, to put it mildly. Some fought the demons in earnest, and for a time they even dared to hope to retake Dresden. But the Third Crusade would be remembered as a witch hunt, in every sense. Inquisitors hoped to purge any cultists from their ranks of fighters, but instead they got a barrage of denunciations, widespread suspicion, and innocent victims. It sometimes happens that two orders would denounce each other as the traitors and wipe each other out, much to the demon's delight. Just 3 years later, in 4668, the church put the disgrace to an end. Of all the crusades, that one was the least glorious. It was the Fourth Crusade. Of course, the demons had no intention of sitting quietly, caged behind the wardstones. They kept attacking Canabras, trying to reach the stone and destroy it, or scratch the surface, or even that wasn't possible, befoul it. The Crusaders drove the demons away from the city again and again. The Fourth Crusade would last for 15 years, an exhausting study in positional warfare. The demons attacked and they were pushed back. The Crusaders went on offensive but were forced to retreat, and all the while the losses were tremendous. The Fourth Crusade's only achievement was that they didn't let a single wardstone fall. They didn't take a slither of land, to say nothing of Dresden. So many lives just maintained the stalemate. You can imagine how that affects morale. Jesus. Brad, I'm gonna steal all your belongings. And we're just getting started.
Follow if you dare.
Commander, allow me to say something. Erebet looks even more serious than usual. Before you, this wasn't a war. It was agony, drawn out over decades. No one believed in victory anymore, but the demons attacked the city. For some of it was a relief. At least the end had come. They laid down their weapons and surrendered our fight. I felt the same thing, but I somehow got through her stubbornness and the vague hope that if nobody found Anavia's body, she might be by some miracle have survived. That miracle was you. You returned my beloved to me when I had nearly lost all hope of seeing her alive again. Then you went on a suicide mission to the Grey Garrison and won the city back for us. You turned a defeat into a victory. I know it wasn't easy, but you make everything seem so effortless. You do everything just like that. The Queen believes in your powers too, but for me, you're just more proof of what I felt the day when I saw Anivia alive, standing next to you. You're the miracle we've been waiting for. You're the one who will finally put an end to this terrible war and, in spite of everything, deliver us the victory we so desperately need. Without you, I'm sure this crusade would achieve what the others could not. I found a scabbard with your family name on it in the Grey Garrison. Everett looks down. This scabbard held a solemn hour. my family sword. My father once fought with it, and I took it when I left home to become a paladin. The axe was stolen, not stolen. I parted with my heirloom willingly to help someone dear to me. Neva needed expensive healing, and having no other way to procure money, I pawned my father's sword. I think he would have understood. I'm sure he would have given up everything to help the family. I hope to redeem the solemn hour eventually, but there was never enough money, and soon the sword disappeared from the pawn shop altogether. I have no idea who took it. Seems like I'll have to part with my father's sword forever. Is Anivia sick? You'll forgive me if I don't go into details. It is a private matter. Suffice to say, everything is fine now. The treatment was costly, but it was worth it. I can see that you truly love her. The delicate blush appears on Erebet's cheeks. She nods silently. Erebet lovingly traces its name imprinted on the silver of Scabbard's letter. My parents were loyal servants, yet it wasn't enough to earn them a title or a coat of arms. Still, however humble our name might be, it is worth something. I don't know if I'll ever see Solemn Hour again, but at least I have its Scabbard back, thank you. It turns out that the Queen has her head of counterintelligence watching me. I wonder why. You think the Queen doesn't trust you? If that were true, she wouldn't have put you in charge of this army. My main task is to be your advisor until you gain enough experience as a commander. As for counterintelligence, Anivia and I were tasked with keeping an eye on your inner circle, but you're not under suspicion, Commander. You're under our protection. We need reinforcements. Can you get more soldiers? Airbud frowns. No, thank you. Compelled to die for a follow. And when we began to march on Dresden, we chose speed over numbers. If I ordered more volunteers to be recruited, they simply wouldn't arrive in time. We could pay mages to deliver the troops to the camp, except I doubted that our army coffers could afford it. If you can spare 7,500 gold coins, I will see to our reinforcements. Perhaps later. It's hard to believe your origin is so humble. You deserve a noble title more than the many who inherited them. Everett, could you please put a shirt on, Commander? It's snowing outside. Thank you, Commander. It is an honor to hear that, especially from you. Every noble family begins somewhere. You must have heard the recent story from the Stolen Lands in the River Kingdoms. Just imagine coming from nowhere and making it all the way to the Royal Crown just in a few years. Sometimes I wonder what would happen if I managed to distinguish myself somehow. But then I push away such unworthy, selfish thoughts, of course. We don't fight for rewards. The fate of the world is at stake. And yet, I have to go.
I'm off!
I love that the option is I have to go. It's just like, it's such an aggressive way to leave someone. You don't, you don't explain yourself or say why you have to go. You just say, I have to go. Guys, I have to go. It's not like when I end stream, I'm like, guys, I gotta go walk the dogs, you know? I have to go. There's a short but always tears it off when fights begin. The Kenashira effect, his laundry must cost a fortune. I would love to have the ability to like mod that into the game. Every fight the battle says is and obviously the dragon tattoo on the back too. I just maintain eye contact and walk away like a true Oblivion NPC. But if you're kind of reading out loud everything, there's a text-to-speech mod. Hold up. Wrath of the Righteous text-to-speech mod. Oh. Oh man, really? But there's no voice and no pre-baked voice files. A neutral voice setup, you can bad Windows one. Neutral voice API adapter. Interesting. Damn. Kinda tempting. You can set voices for female, male, female, and narrator voice. Change the pitch. I'll think about it. Unfortunately, I think people unironically.
I do what I must.
like me reading everything out loud. Even if it destroys my voice. I completely forgot what... Ulbrich just sounds like a posh British man, right? So you're the chief now. I'm completely lost. You're going to lead us free Sarkoris for those Fae. I felt it in the moment I saw you. This one is special. But that you'd go and get yourself a whole army in no time? That I did not expect. Well, how does your newfound power feel? Has it gone to your head yet? We're going to fight demons, not Fae. Fae, demons, angels? Ulbrich screws up his face and waves his hand in front of it like he's trying to get rid of a foul smell. They are all the same spooks. They could have stayed in the magicy forest happy as pig in mud. But no, they had to poke their funny heads into the mortal world. Hold on, don't change the subject, eh? What do you think about being a war chief? It's an odd feeling. So many people are counting on me. I can't let them down. Yes, it's a scary thing to be responsible for others, especially when you're not out picking mushrooms, you're taking them to war. Even if you win, some of them surely won't make it back home, and you're the one who has to bear the burden. Ulrich runs his hand over his beard and shakes his head in thought. But I know you'll do just fine, and not because I've seen you in battle, although you are worth a whole band of warriors in a fight. I know you'll make a fine warship because you're not thinking about power or honors. You're concerned about the people in charge. As long as you hold to that, you have nothing to fear. Goddamn ChatGPT guys, look at all these M dashes. Barely written by ChatGPT. Well, I didn't come here just to flap my gums. Since I'm going to war and you're in charge, I better do this the right way. Ulrich lowers his head and says solemnly, My blade and my life are yours, war chief. I mean, it's not like I need a blade. My talents and beak will do the trick. But saying it like that is the done thing. My talents and beak are yours. Just don't have the same ring to it. There's something else. I can already see the things are bad, but the tales of Sarkoris burning down and its people dying out, I'm sorry. I don't believe those. It can't be true. We are not the kind of folks to be snuffed out just like that. I have kin in a village not far from here. Current Glen. Let's go there and talk to them. Have them fill us in. They're smart folks. Have still help us in battle too. Together we'll clean up Sarkoris before you can say, Aren't ye foul creatures? Alright, Ulbrich bumps his fist into his palm with a chuckle of bravado. Alright, I'll prepare for the road ahead. Take care, War Chief. What do you think of your new powers? I don't like them. Can't deny that they're useful, but this is the way of things I'm accustomed to. Every power must have a name. The power that druids and shifters have are fair. Gods and spirits grant them to us, and only for good reason. First, you have to earn your power, prove you're worthy of it, show you're grateful for it. Then you can start using it. But this? Who gave it to us? For what purpose? What do we have to give in return? It's one mystery after another. I'll up and tell you what I think. This power feels like ensorcery. In our lands, people could get sent to a threshold for toying with powers like these, for everyone's safety. Dude, I would love the version of this game where Stephen Pacey narrates everything. If I was a billionaire, I'd pay for that. Embers is bobbing her head and humming a tune. She greets you with a carefree, cheerful smile, her wandering eyes linger on you for just a moment before darting off again in the distance. How are you handling your new abilities? Abilities? The girl tilts her head to her shoulder. What are you talking about? Oh, the tricks you learned when the big grey house blew up? They're funny. Thanks for teaching them to me. The Queen gave me the title of Knight Commander and put me in charge of the army. What do you think about that? The elf folks are wondering gaze on you, smiling and shakes her head. Don't believe titles. All of us in the world are children of the street. Barefoot, hungry, scared, a step away from death. Some imagine they're strong and rich like gods, but don't forget who you really are behind the title. I have to go. Erebet, what is this thing doing in the camp? It's under my supervision. Since the day we were blessed with the shiny chatterbox make Shaylin brighten the baby firing each day, there have been 16 attempts to thefts. 2 by those I haven't trusted with protecting it. You think we should have left it in the Ravaged City so some smart Alec could shop it up? No, it's now the property of the Crusade, which means I'm going to stand guard over it, even if I have to keep this beautiful oath in the command tent. Happy to be of service. May Shaolin brighten and vivify your day. If you were a billionaire, you'd hire a space to sit in the room with you, holding your hand. Yeah, hell yeah. Unironically, I would. I would do that. I'm a sick person. I would do that.
I'm gone. There's something here.
Ooh. Ooh. Don't mind if I do.
We do it my way.
Ah, boy, there you are. Very good, just in time. You'll be delighted to know that I need you for an experiment. So the great garrison stands roofless. Demons are running for the hills with their tails between their legs. Minute screen. What's her name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Galfrey. It's scurrying to and fro, and all of this somehow connects to you, my loyal follower. Thus far, there's no scientific evidence of your exceptionality. If one discounts blind faith in divine intervention, which I do. We people of science refuse to believe in inexplicable without any proof. We are the ones who explain the inexplicable. A new punctuation statement with an energetic sweep of her arms. And therefore, open your mouth and say, ah, for me. Open your mouth. Ah. Then you pierce your mouth with a practiced eye. Alright, your throat's fine, tongue looks perfectly normal. Your breath, she sniffs, it smells in line with the regular functioning of the digestive system. Now your teeth. She sticks one hand into your mouth and probes each of your teeth in turn with her skill of a seasoned dentist. No detectable alterations. By the way, did you know that many individuals, while being wholly civilized representatives of their races, still have an amazing, powerful bite? As if suddenly recalling something, then you promptly pulls her hand out of your mouth. Are you really trying to find a correlation between fang length and civility? Nenu seems slightly embarrassed. For the good of science, I look for correlation everywhere in and everything. How can you prove there's no correlation if you don't bother to look for one? If someone gets my nerves, I can bite hard enough too. Can you? We definitely must test that someday, but not today. Now we are conducting an experiment of a different kind. Moving on. Alright, what do we have next? Ears. Let's check your hearing. Testing! Nenu yells right into your ear and nods in satisfaction as he observes your reaction. Your hearing is fine, was fine, but don't worry. It's scientifically proven that it should return to normal soon. Next. Nenu circles you. Eyes are clear, posture is satisfactory, limb length is standard, no lice. She stops rubbing her chin in contemplation, and then a slightly dejected tone says, Boy, you are the picture of health. It's a pity, I was expecting to find some anomaly. Well, now this is your mental state. Imagine a hypothetical situation. You are a tree. 2 squirrels have found their way into your hollow and are now populating there. What do? I'll do nothing, because I'm a tree. An unconscious act of withdrawal along with the lack of trust in your own abilities, or perhaps just a healthy dose of pragmatism? On to the next question. Another hypothetical situation, you are a tomato. You have just been picked from the vegetable patch and put in a crate. You know that the cook will use half the tomatoes from your crate to make soup. What do? That's something I can do. I'm a tomato, remember? An unconscious act of withdrawal. Inability or unwillingness to see something bigger behind something smaller. Alright, I understand. On the surface, it appears you don't really believe in your ability to change things. But in fact, you are a strong pragmatist who knows perfectly well what you can and can't do. Your reasoning is that of a mortal one who is capable of achieving a great deal, though he would deny even that. On that note, I deem this experiment complete. Thank you for your participation. Nina looks at you pensively and gestures at you with a wide sweep of her arms. And yet you remain a puzzle to me. I love puzzles. One of these days I will solve you some completely. Unless I forget. Oh yeah. Do experiment?
Follow if you dare.
Only middle guys left, I think. I didn't see Anavia anywhere. Did I miss her somehow? You're Horgus' daughter. You discovered my most terrible secret. Father cares so much about the worm name that he raised me in our mansion, hiding me away from the whole world. I'll always be grateful to my father for everything he's done for me, even if Mendes society disapproved of us, some of his decisions. Would it be innocent of me to beg your discretion regarding what you know about us? Camilla's words are polite, but her tone grows calm and sharp. Let us keep this our little secret. I assure you, my father and I appreciate loyalty and decency. For both myself and my father, I thank you for your understanding. I found a number of interesting implements and accessories in Gurn's mansion. How kind of you to share that you've gone through the Gurn's dirty laundry and drawn some bizarre conclusions. If you value my company, please refrain from making such insinuations in the future. What do you think of the powers you receive from me? Camilla shrugs nonchalantly. People of noble descent grow accustomed to ample opportunity. The powers I receive from you are useful, but I see no point in treating them with excessive piety. If there's no grapple monk in the game, I would have made king from Tekken. If only you could be like a beastskin person and or like an awakened beast. August Squirm has been expecting you, thumb stuck in his belt. There you are, I've been waiting. As you see, I too have joined the crusade. I don't know how to swing the sword, but war is costly and I have money. Besides, my intellect and business sense may prove useful even on the battlefield. Besides, I believe... August shifts awkwardly from foot to foot. I believe I owe you an apology. The way I behaved was rude, ill-mannered. You are an honest and honorable person. You have clawed your way from the bottom of society to the title of Knight Commander, and your friends with Queen Galfrey herself. Such persistence deserves respect. August tilts his head in brief acknowledgement of your merits. Please allow me to give you this magic amulet from my humble personal treasury to mark our future of cooperation. Tell me the story of August Squirm again. I think... Yeah, this is the exact same story. What is it like to live your entire life under someone else's name? When I was a boy, I used to hate August. The condescending most of all. The pity of his face, his smile. Wait, we already read this too, right? Yeah, we already read that. Aren't you afraid I'll reveal your secret to everyone? Are you threatening me? I've invested a lot of money in your crusade, and I will invest even more, and yet you think to humiliate me in front of everyone? That's not going to work. If a scandal breaks out, it will be your word against mine, and I've been known as August Gwern for several decades. I own a vast estate outside Canabras, and a share of the local quarry. I will defend my good name to the end. Your claims will seem like wild slander. I'll see to that. August's face becomes blotchy, and his eyes nearly pop out of the sockets. He calms himself with a visible effort. However, I do hope it won't come to any of that. We're all here for the common cause, victory over the demons, and I intend to see this business through. Why you decided to support the crusade now? With all due respect, that's none of your business. I have my reasons. Perhaps I felt a rush of patriotism when Canabras was destroyed. Anyway, why would you think I never supported the crusades? Perhaps I simply don't like to brag about my donations. Ostentatious charity only attracts beggars. I'd wager that Irabeth has no idea whose money she's spending on drinks and supplies. Like, we already know Horgus was funding the crusades from the shadows, right? Why did you hide the fact that Camilla is your daughter? Didn't I tell you this at the mansion? It's because her mother, Iris, was a lowly half-elf who looked after my garden. I always wanted to join Gwyrm name with another noble family. The Gwyrm legacy must not be mixed with common blood and vanish into obscurity. Iris in mind, and we managed to hide our relationship. When Camilla was born, I did not claim her as my own. The call of Mendev, Camilla is the daughter of a lowly servant who died over a decade ago. And before you start telling me what a terrible father I am, I'll tell you something. My daughter wanted for nothing. Oh, we already read this. How did Camilla's mother die? August pierces you with a long, heavy stare. I'm not going to tell you about that. Some things ought to remain private. What can you tell me about Count Darren Arnday? The nobles of Canabria should be acquainted with each other, shouldn't they? He is a brilliant young man with a brilliant pedigree, and that story of his, the nobility is the glue that keeps our society together. I suppose that is why demons so often choose their estate as primary targets. Who would notice the demons' bloody massacre if they only slaughtered poor country folk? The Arnday family shared the tragic plight of the Gwyrms. Along with many other members of the nobility, they fell victim to a treacherous attack during a major celebration taking place at their family estate. I hadn't received an invitation and was slightly insulted by the snub, but it turned out to be the blessing in disguise. The gods saved me from a terrible fate. All the guests died that day from a magical demonic disease. I sympathize with the Count deeply. He has endured so much, and it's no wonder he keeps himself aloof from me. I think this is due to the fact that Horgus Gwyrm's fate so resembles his own, and we both have to relive those horrible memories whenever we see each other. One of my favorite builds in Kingmaker was going Skeleton, Sorcerer, Dragon Disciple, Monk that could shapeshift into a dragon. Do you get like Flurry of Blows as a dragon?
My skills are absolute.
What do you think of my new powers? Waldrief pauses to think, rubbing his chin. You mean what you did back there? I have a few ideas. We could send you to Pitax Underground Arena to fight. Give you a scary name like Swift Sting or something like that. Give you a great cover story. Enemies burn down your house. You're avenging your dead family. The public eats that stuff up. You'll wear a shiny, eye-catching outfit, or a black one if you like black better. We'll split the prize money, 60-40. 60 for me, of course. You know, arranging fights isn't easy. The people are tough. I'll be taking more risks than you, and after we set up a Pitax, we'll tour different cities, make some of your money. What, you don't like the sound of it? Do you have any other suggestions? Waldrief grins, his yellow eyes light up. I got one more. Have you heard of Rasmirin? It's some land in the River Kingdoms ruled by King Rasmir. A friend of mine used to live in Rasmirin. He got out of there as fast as he could. Long story short, this King Rasmir of theirs is a god. He keeps his people under his heel. They're all terrified of what he might do. He sits on his throne wearing some white mask, giving power to anyone. Come and take power from me, he says. So long as you believe in me. Waldrief quickly checks to make sure no one's eavesdropping. But that friend of mine, the one who fled, has a half-sister in this old man's side who's a cook in the castle, and a washerwoman who the cook plays cards with. In the evening told her a juicy rumor. Word is, Rasmir isn't a real god at all, and he's got no powers. So here's my point. You do have powers, pretty scary ones too. We'll find some shabby little kingdom, I'll start some rumor, you'll show off your few tricks and wow the locals, and that's it. We'll make you a deity, but first I want you to put in writing that I'll be your chief advisor. I'm doing anything just on the nod. I've been there. People promise the mountain of gold, and then when it comes to it, they all get lost. Or I'll set the dogs on you. So do you like the idea? I like the idea that he thinks that a contract would hold up. Call myself a god to see people? That's disgusting. Thinking privacy is disgusting. Deceiving an entire kingdom is an art. You're not appreciating what it is I'm offering you, thief. I don't make offers like this just to anyone, you know? Leave the party. The bearded quartermaster gives you a friendly nod. What can I do for you? Your supply would do any wine shop proud. Does the crusade really need this much alcohol? Wilser smiles shyly. Don't think I'm trying to encourage drunkenness among our crusades. It's all in good fun. A way to blow off some steam. Where soldiers can gather by the fire and raise a cup to honor both the living and the dead. It reminds them that life goes on. But those who drink to excess or to the detriment of their duties won't get a drop from me. There's no sight more depressing than a drunkard. I saw you talking to the girl hiding her face. Who was she and what did she want? I don't know, Commander. She never introduced herself, but I bet she's not part of our army. I know all our soldiers by name and sight. Wilser frowns gloomily, his cordiality gone in an instant. He was looking for some elf volunteer. Wanted to know which tent he was sleeping in. At first I thought he was a messenger from Mendev. He definitely wasn't one of us, but now I see it all looks mighty shifty. The quartermaster's eyes see with concern. You're some sort of spy, then. Tell me about yourself. Quartermaster looks away sheepishly. There isn't much to tell, really. I was born in Canabras, in my humble family. Got an education, taught myself to read and write, got drafted into the army, spent 3 years as a shield bearer in the first line. I left after I did my time and joined the Stonemasons Guild. Then moved on to the shipwrights, then rose to chief. Sailed to Eobaria twice and returned with goods. Made some money, built a house, but haven't started a family yet. I think I will after we are done with this war. But a few years ago, something started gnawing at me. I got this feeling like I needed to go home. That there was a storm headed for my native city, and when there's trouble in Mendev, there's only one thing to do. You go to the recruiter and sign up for the army, and so I did. At first, they wanted to make me an infantry sergeant, but then they decided to be a better fit in the supply department. I can take care of army property, and I'm pretty handy around a warehouse, not to mention I know how to manage a band of helpers. And so that's how I became a quartermaster. Wilser gives a shy smile and shrugs, as if it were a wholly unremarkable story, typical of a crusader. What do your duties in the camp? A little bit of everything. Was an officer to a soldier. A strict father, so what does this make a quartermaster like myself? Something like their mum. That's what. I make sure the lads have everything they need and defeat the enemy and come back from the battle in one piece. Bowser starts ticking off his fingers, not ticking them. I thought it was tickling his fingers. That means food, firewood, medicine, tents, mended clothes, fixed weapons. The horses have got to be fed and watered, the camp's got to be fortified by the evening and broken up by the morning. I make sure the wages are paid on time and the wagon wheels don't squeak, and then there's the reports. Gods, until you asked, I even never realized how many duties I actually had. What do the soldiers think of their commander? They mostly tell tales about your initial power, but they don't shy away from talking about you as a person, too. Soldiers are always like that. If Eomir herself descended from heaven, you'd bet they'd jabber on about how she grips her sword and how good she looks in her armor. Word is you're a skilled fighter, much faster and dangerous than a knight in full armor, that you rush around the battlefield like the wind and no demon can outrun you. That before someone can even finish a blink, the commander will be standing beside them, even though he was nowhere to be seen seconds before. I should say that I came up with that last one myself, and did my best to drop it into conversations whenever I could. Teaches the rank and file not to let their guard down. If they know their superior could pop up behind them any moment. I have to go. Doing a drunken boxer monk from a playthrough, making him Friar Tuck. Nice. I'll just do a regular save. Drunken monk sounds really good if you get that tankard from the first place. Maybe I can get that still, but that made drunken monk seem really powerful. Okay, let's see. We are going to look at items. Oh my god! Isn't this kind of crazy? 2d6 acid damage to all enemies in a 30-foot area? Ooh. It's a Slayer weapon, huh? Probably. What does plus on speed do? That's good. Actually, yeah. This one doesn't stack with ice. This one seems pretty good too. Damn, 2d4 points of slashing damage to all adjacent enemies. Ooh. The ruse. I don't really have anyone in my party that uses weapons, so it's like, do I even? I don't even really care about any of these, but at least so far. For a shield basher build, I'm going to get when I reach him. Is it viable to just do a full-on shield-only build? I'll obviously do this. Everything is viable in some sense if you're good enough at the game. Adamantine armor. Oh, this is kind of interesting, I guess. Wait for number of HP equal to the number of their hit die? No, that's not interesting. That's bad. I thought you got like healed for like, you know, like 66 or whatever when you get crit, which could be interesting. Probably can't even wear this, so... Sure. Oh, this thing. Made with natural weapons. Builders of a shield doing the entrance damage to the opponent. Oh. Probably for mounted tank because there's a feat that will add the ace of the shield to the mount as well, and the speed penalty won't bother him. Oh. Oh, sure. I'm saying like the ability on the shield is not interesting. Like the shield itself might be good, but the ability isn't like particularly good. Like it would heal you for 20 at level 20 if you get crit. Like, eh. I guess a knight challenges a specific type of ability that some people have. This is nice. You can bring another suit of armor top here, so. This is pretty decent. Glowing scales. Who am I talking to now? His name is Vilser Garms. Glowing scale. I'm just writing down like any items that seem interesting that they might be worth the purchase. Or they have a good composite bow. Or I don't care about this. Frodo's mithril chain? The poor hobbit must be dead. I guess ring of protection plus 2 is interesting. But if it's going to be anything like Kingmaker, I feel like I'm going to find like a million of these like rings. Probably not worth buying. Ooh, brother, ooh. Amulet of Mighty Fists. Amulet of Mighty Fists. +1. Mounts are too powerful in this game. Yeah, I've heard they're pretty overpowered. I'm not planning to use them unless I like... Unless, like for Sela, that was like a natural way to go for her, but I'm not gonna like get a mount on every character just to break the game. If the wearer has the weapon finesse feat, this amulet lasts with blood, extra modifier, to naturals with unarmed and natural. Oh, okay, there's that thing. That's right. Hi, Logan. Hva er det? Skal vi kose? My little boy wants my attention. Nei, du ligger ikke i senga med meg på morgenen, men da jeg våkner opp og er aktiv og holder på med ting, da er det kosetid og leketid og holde på til. Ja, du kommer ikke og legger deg med meg i senga, men nå, da sier du, åja, nei, nå må jeg kose, jeg må ha kos. Jeg må ha kos. Legg deg opp i senga da, Logan. Ja. This mythic domain mystery stuff to get mount feels pretty cheesy. That's the big bummer with my shield bashing paladin tortured crusader. The crusader class only can take weapon bond. Yeah, but like sounds like you can get mythic domain / mystery to get a mount too, right? Or is that not available for paladins? I mean, it's cheesy, but I mean, it also depends a bit what difficulty you're playing, right? Like, and what your goal is. I mean, part of not for balance, okay. Part of the fun of these games sometimes is breaking the game, right? At least when I the only game like this that I've really played multiple times is Dragon Age Origins. And when I used to play that, and we're talking like a lot of years ago. The most fun I had replaying the game was just repeatedly breaking the game over and over and over again. With, you know, using my newfound knowledge of the game and power game, it could be like, all right, how can I break the game now? I'm off. And a big thing for, I mean, this is a big thing not only in this game, but also in like when you're playing tabletop, right? It's kind of like you kind of make your own difficulty in a sense.
I do what I must.
Whenever the werewolf uses a hex, the DC of the same against it is increased by 1. Oh, so give that to My lady here. Where's my storage at? Oops. Lost item, wooden spoon. If I collect all here, that only brings the stuff from this. No, it took all the books back. God! Okay, let's go see how much we can sell and if we can afford that item for Ember. Which might also have been a necklace now that I think about it. Show me your moves. Should I sell to the quartermaster maybe so all my stuff is... Because the quartermaster seems very permanent. If I sell to him, then then the stuff is still there for rebuying if I feel like in the future, right? Don't need throwing axe. The cold iron orc double axe deals 1 additional cold damage at one end and sonic damage. I'm thus far no one that uses an orc double axe. Whenever a sickle lands a hit on the enemy, the target must pass a resistance to be staggered. Don't care about that. I'm not using sickle. This is a short bow. No one cares about those. A rapier +1. I guess I should set off for Camellia. Marching Terror. When there's glaive lands a hit on a new enemy for the first time, the target receives the one designated damage. Can I see? Oh, 200. Okay, so I mean, I don't think anyone here is applicable for this item. What does oh, he just uses range attacks. And this guy uses range attacks too. He is currently wielding a glaive, but I don't think. Do you think I would actually equip a glaive on him? Do you think I would actually like be like, hey, so I'll run into melee combat right now with your glaive as a cleric? He has as much health as I do. And shows me weapon. Alright, sure. There is +2 light crossbow critical hit. If the wielder by an oracle, the target must pass a will saving DC or suffer from the same effects as the oracle's curse level 1. I mean, I guess I'll give this to Ember as well. Might as well. I don't think I'll ever use it on her, but battle axe. Don't think anyone is going to be using a battle axe. I wish I could have my inventory open. Oops. Oops. Cunt. Fell into a burning maze of fire. I should probably sort these by price. That way I can see which ones are like truly valuable. I don't think anyone in my party is going to be using a scythe. Also, a flaming short sword. A short sword? What is this positive damage? Okay. I mean, but I'm using radiance if I have seal out, right? So all these weapons are just useless. This is a +1. So to compare the weapon easily, I guess. +2. Okay, well, that's a +2. This is a +1. We're selling the +1, I guess. Milady? Bob with nails. Oh, we have 2 glaives. One is cold iron. I guess I'm keeping the cold iron one. Darkhorn. She's currently wearing half plate +1 versus this is a +2. I think it's a where a +2 enhancement bonus to Constitution. My cleric man here is not a heavy armor wearer, right? No. Okay. Well, I'll sell this one then. They fixed one of the big problems in Game Maker for this game in giving an abundant weapon options and even weapons that is useful all game, Finn. That can shapeshift into whatever you want. Yeah. It's cool that they give a lot of weapons there, so that like you can do a lot of different builds, and depending on what build you're doing, you can also find something useful. It just, in my case, basically my entire party aren't wielding weapons at all, so a lot of it is just kind of... I should equip these before I should have done this before I start selling everything. So I'll just sell this. Then I'll go out here, and then I'll equip people with stuff, and then I'll go into the thing. You should have that. You should have this rapier. You should be wielding... Well, I bring the Radiance with me just in case it's useful for something, so I'm not going to give her Radiance, but... She should have this shield for sure, and she should have this half plate of Vigor. Is this somehow better than what he's wearing? No. Who else actually wears armor? No one. Except this dude. Frodo's mithril vest? The poor hobbit must be dead. I guess the breastplate is better than the chainmail. That looks like it. Are you gonna be moving out on Friday? Yeah, for sure. I'll check. I'll check after stream today if Superman is available. Otherwise, we'll probably do the one Doin said, World of Worlds or whatever. Horsey has leveled up. Not for mythic abilities on the Horsey horse. Is using Bismuth viable for front lines? Look, guys, it's you. It's chat. Look how good you're doing. You just got some new shoes. What? I equipped the wrong amulet. Oops. My bad. I don't think any of these are that interesting. Can I equip a necklace on a horse? Oh, I can, okay. Alright, horse, there you go. That member looks so badass right now. Also funny, I put a necklace on a horse. A horse has a neck, of course you can wear a necklace. Can't get him out without tortured Crusader Paladin. Sell that. Sell this item. I don't have a That's I haven't seen one, so I'm just gonna sell it. I can just buy it back later if I really need to. Alright, let's go on a shopping spree.
I'm gone.
And when I'm going, I should probably sell some goddamn scrolls and stuff too, huh? Now I think about it. I'll sell it to this guy in here though, because he's the scroll skank. Show me your moves. It's so hard to know what hair I'm ever gonna use and what hair is just gonna lie in my inventory forever. I guess if it I wish I could like permanently mark scrolls and be like bullshit might have new items, so I can go take a look. I wish I could permanently mark scrolls, be like, this item I want to care about, this item I don't. Oh yeah, he has new stuff, I think. That doesn't seem bad. Veteran's armor. I mean, it's light armor though, who's gonna wear that? This supposed to sling staff lands a hit with it, the enemy must pass a resistance or... What? Can Woljan actually wield that? Because that would be sick, it looks like. No, he can't. Ward of Confusion? I mean, well, not bad. I don't know if it's worth the money though, but I guess one of Heroism is pretty nice too, huh? Ooh, Robe of Inevitability, that's nice. Wolf Gif. A Robe of Inevitability. That's minimum DC. Oh, yeah, true. And power. Yeah, we already saw it on Ilia, right? Hooked hammer. Quarterstaff of Slip. Oh. One of Haste. That's nice. So we fight. La Resistance lives on. Okay. That's just roll this value. But I already have that on the character I care about it on, though, I think. Should I buy another one just to, in case I buff on someone else? Alright. Hva er det, vennen min? Er det molofunken I dag? Hæ? I'll sell something very important. He's so weird, because when I sleep, I'm in my bed, and I wake up and he's lying on the doggy stool. And then, when I wake up, for some reason, now he wants attention. Like, he could have been sleeping next to me, lying on top of my head. But no, that we're not doing. Or both on any. Oh yeah, that's true. That could be interesting. Oh, I gotta deal with my scroll mess though, and I'm gonna trigger people, but I'm just gonna sell everything that I don't think is interesting. Because ultimately, his entire. Do you guys see his entire body is shaking right now? You have to protect and keep the lookout. Oh. Ah. Oh. Okay, that one's literally under the bed. That one's going forever. Have you? Have you? Good. I woke up this morning with my hand extended to my side and felt something touching my hand. It was also nuzzling my hand. It was on his back like a derpster. That is so extreme. Also, Wrath of the Rising Scam. Hell yeah. I should just play the game like this. Like, guys, what do you think? What do you guys think about this item? Do you think this? Do you guys think this item is good? I think it's pretty good. What do you guys think? Should I sell this scroll, guys? What are you thinking? Maybe I should do that while I sell the scrolls, just so I don't trigger people. Okay. Let the triggering begin. I'm just gonna sort these by price. Sure, price makes sense. Remove the seats, whatever. Midnight bolts. Actually, I'd probably sell this, huh? Sonic, whatever. Holy sword. Sure, sounds good. There's a weakness. Literally don't even know what this follows. Oh. So technically, I could probably cast this through use magic item with Nenio, right? I should be able to do that, right? I can even learn it. Oh, maybe I should do that first. Obviously, I should learn the spells first before I... do... Yeah, I don't even need to use magic item, I can just cast it. I should probably learn it. Am I ever gonna be in a situation where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna learn it. But let's see what we can learn though before I sell it. Dispel magic point? Sure, let's learn Dispel magic, I guess. Or is that also like a scroll thing? That's just, I mean, I can find, if I can make scrolls. Scroll Scorching Ray. Probably never gonna cast that. Surface is cold. Don't see myself using that realistically. Maybe in the future if I get that. Oh! I wasn't copying the spells, I was using them. Whoops. Whoopsie. Just a little prank. A little Endaline prank. Finishes this new get resist energy spell, as in pick it up to cast. Oh yeah. I meant more like I just don't see myself. Wait, but I did I get that? Because I can still learn Scroll Resist Acid. I was more thinking like, I'm probably gonna just use the communal version if I ever use it, right? That's my thought anyway. I can foresee myself spamming gracelessness. Journals was I knew, gotta collect them all. I could, I guess. I just feel like I'll have a lot of spells that like clutter up my spellbook for no reason. And this is, well, I guess I'll probably get enough money anyway, huh? I guess we're cluttering up that spellbook. They can rewrite them as scrolls. I mean, I don't think 99% of these spells are spells that I would ever use, even if you held me at gunpoint. Or I'll pick up Haste on Muldrift, might as well. Displacement, sure. I don't know why these are split. Okay, let's save. Let's talk to this guy. Once I'm done selling, I'm gonna quickly go and begin prepping some food, and then... Nice thing having them in spellbook is that if you do need them, you can use the arcane bond tech to prepare one on the fly. Okay. Okay, so... One of each person, one of reduced person, sure. Scroll Folly Sword, scroll victim. I mean, I guess this is not a bad spell, I guess. But I'll use it or not is the question. Inflict serious wounds, don't care. Do not care. Scroll of Haste, sure. I'll forget to use it, but sure, whatever. I guess I can feed this to someone during a fight to remove paralysis. Potion of Blur. I'll forget to use it, but sure. Scroll of Summon Small Fire Elemental. I guess if I'm in a fight, or Gophers is cold. Am I realistically gonna remember to even use these? If I'm in that situation? I did one time, so maybe I will. Molten Orb, not interested. Don't care about moderate wounds. Glitter Dust, sure. Find Traps. No. Delay Poison. I mean, it's just for one person, so probably not interesting. I'm just gonna sell that. Bless Weapon. Sure. Scroll Vanish. Sure. Unbreakable Heart. Sure. Targeted Bomb. No, absolutely not. This is a self buff? Nah, I'm Gucci. Snowball, nope. Still Faith, whatever. Shield? They're just like it's just like a mage armor plus, I guess. Removal sickness. I guess. Did I even look at the potions? Oh, yeah, I did. I just skipped over them. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. There's no shot I'm going to use this protection from low thing. This evil thing, sure, but... And chaos, maybe. The low thing is too oddly specific. Feather step. Deflection bonus doesn't stack with air protection. Oh, okay, that makes that way less valuable, I guess. Even if it gives some bonus now, it won't really soon, so whatever. The ring of protection is deflection bonus, good to remember. And resistance won't stack with cloak of resistance. I love hearing the dogs bark. Is magic find the spell I used to cast on Barrow? I feel like I have so many sources of mage armor that, like, I'm never gonna use these. They're just gonna be wasted. But don't care about fire belly, I don't think. What else does it just gives you fire resistance? Yeah, nah, I'm good. Verifier, sure. Expedition Rich, sure. Whatever. Doom, very unlikely to use that. Water space, sure. Bless, sure. Bonnie? Probably not. Okay, so I want the red salamander. From this guy. And then maybe buy... This one's good. This one is good for Nenio, right? I'm not coping with that, am I? Just a +2 to intelligence. And immune to all compulsion effects, but it's probably there's probably cheaper versions of that, I assume, though. Bit of expensive stat item, yeah, I agree. But it makes you into compulsion items, which is nice. Should I get this Conman's ring, probably? Yeah, that's a good one, right? +5 to perception and trickery skill checks. That's a good item, right? I don't know who I would get for. I should get myself that amulet of natural. Let's see here. Red salamander and common ring. Oh, the specialist belt. Where was that at? This thing. That would be way better for Nenio, I think, if I start using scrolls with her. I can't afford it right now, though, I don't think. I'm about to use most of my money on these two. Really expensive? Yeah, but hey, listen. Am I not gonna have infinite gold in this game eventually? Isn't that how this game works, just like with Kingmaker? Am I not eventually just gonna have literally infinite gold and just be like, I'm a billionaire? But by then you might wear a Constitution belt. What? That's insane. No. No, absolutely not.